And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you win in any marketplace, as we say here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to help you win. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number, 813-670-7372. Save our hotline number in your phone. We want to make sure you connect with us online, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. Check out the website. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, and we want to help you win in any marketplace. All right, so got a great lineup for you here. Let's go around the horn here, make our introductions. We also have Captain Will Smith on the phones. So let's start here in studio. We got John in the house, Legal Shield, and I'm not going to take a stab at that last name. Can you help us out with that?
Sure, Brandon. Thanks for having me here today. My name is Djonlich. I'm with Legal Shield and ID Shield.
That was easier than I thought it would be.
Yep.
All right, John's in the house, Legal Shield. So we're going to talk about, you also work with H.L. Allen, who's been on the show as well, talking about protecting your identity and some other cool services you guys offer.
Correct.
Awesome. Yep. Good stuff. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, Legal Shield, we offer the best legal and identity theft protection. We offer protection for individuals, families, as well as small business owners and their employees to protect them from legal issues, as well as protect themselves from identity theft.
Nice. I like it. Identity theft is definitely surging. It's cybercrime and all that kind of stuff. We have the lovely Jannete Sawdon in the house as well, Febre Frameworks.
Always a pleasure. Love
Likewise.
being here.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
What's new with Febre Frameworks?
We just added a new package, a smaller package called the Ideal Package. We can go into that a bit later. And we're expanding to Jacksonville, doing some growth here. Sean just opened up a pressure washing company.
Nice.
Which is cool. I think it's nice for all of our clients to have, like, they can go, a trusted company to use for pressure washing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And always affordable.
Priority pressure washing.
That's right.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, like the US mail sign.
I like it. Yeah, we were watching football one weekend, and he said, yeah, he's telling me about starting it and got his truck, and he's got so hey, that's a great idea. You got the equipment, you got the setup, you're working with real estate agents, and it's definitely something that's out there. You see it. People need to do that pressure washing on their properties to make it look good for the pictures.
Yeah, I mean, beyond just pictures too, though. I mean, HOA, they want you to pressure wash, but but it's nice though that he has that trusted, loyal customer base already.
That's right.
So that they just know that Sean, he does great work with photos, and he's built such a good company with photos. I mean, why not pressure washing? So
yeah, so we're going to talk about real estate photography here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let's go to Captain Will Smith. He's on the phones. Captain Will Smith, I wanted to have you call in and kind of weigh in on the helicopter crash that we've all heard about many, many times with Kobe Bryant. Are you there, sir?
Yes, Brandon, how are you doing?
I am well, thank you.
Good to be on your show again. Yeah, it was a travesty what happened. Very tragic event with him. He was such an awesome person and a monarch in his community, and it's going to be a huge loss, only a huge hole in the community out there in California and in basketball. For what I've read and what I've seen, the conditions probably weren't the way they should have been for a VFR flight. There's something called you've probably heard this on the news, a special VFR, which some of our pilots get out of IFR, which is instrument flight rules, meaning you can't see the ground, you can't see anything around you, so you have to use your instruments on the aircraft to get into a VFR condition. You will usually ask for this special VFR if ceilings are below 2,000 feet and 3 miles visibility, as long as you keep something called ground contact. Now, basically what that is they're flying low to the ground to where they have ground contact, and they're following the roads to get to their destination. Unfortunately, over in California, when you have water close to hills, it's called upslope fog. This probably could have been something that occurred, causing the pilot to lose ground contact under the special VFR. Now, because of the mountains are in the way, the ATC radar, once it hits a mountain, it can't penetrate the mountain so they can't see the helicopter when it's flying so low. What I've noticed through reading the reports and just the preliminary reports is he most likely lost visual contact, and unfortunately he CFIT the aircraft into the ground, which CFIT is an acronym for Controlled Flight into Terrain, meaning he couldn't see the ground until it was too late. The debris field being spread across a number, a couple hundred feet. He probably saw it last minute, tried to recover, but by doing so, the impact into the ground with just the inertia from the aircraft caused it to spread across a certain, I think it was like 600 yards, 700 yards across the ground. It was very unfortunate. Hindsight being 2020, Brandon, they probably should have just waited a little bit and been late. These special VFRs are out there, but it's from getting out of instrument flight rules, or IMC, instrument meteorological conditions, to a VFR area, and that never happened. It continued to get worse. They actually at one point had to hold around an airport because of the traffic trying to get in and get out. The visibility was so bad. I do know for helicopters, if they get to where they can't see, one of the protocols is do a 180-degree turn and go back the opposite direction to where they can have some type of ground contact. When hovering a helicopter, you have to have a visual ground point to focus on. If you lose that visual ground point, you can no longer hover, so therefore you have to create forward momentum and use your instruments on the aircraft to navigate yourself. I'm assuming the type of aircraft it was, it should have had some type of ground proximity warning system on board to say, hey, you're too close to the ground. But I don't know because of the age of the aircraft. If it had a GPWS system, I do know the aircraft that we fly do have ground proximity warning systems. And we also have other instruments on board that allow us to see, the terrain through the glass cockpit. So these are some things that probably weren't on board. This was a single pilot operation, which makes it's a lot of work for one pilot to do. I just think it's a horrible situation that happened, Brandon, and all our our thoughts and prayers go out to the Bryant family. But it'll probably be ruled pilot error because of the weather and the conditions that were prevailing that day.
Yeah, that's a big deal, man. Having the VFR and the instrument flight rating versus the visual flight rules. That's a big thing that you do, and you actually teach that as well with your companies. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, there's different ratings, and your IFR rating is the rating that you get on your pilot's certificate. So you start out with a private pilot, then you get your instrument rating, and from there you start to build your time and experience flying in instrument conditions. Now, helicopters are not known to fly in IFR. The helicopters around that area, the news choppers, just for traffic, they weren't going up. So that should tell you something right there. Helicopters normally do not fly when there's low ceilings and dense fog and low visibility. Just for the simple reason that it's low to the ground. You're flying in a mountainous area. So I teach people mountain flying as well on using your instrumentation and using your skill set that you have to get away and get out of that. Yeah, the best thing to do was go up. And if he got at a higher altitude, he would have been above all that and had some type of horizon to focus on. But unfortunate that it just got worse and worse and worse. And one of the things that we train our pilots to do is have personal minimums. And if you go beyond your personal minimums, the unfortunate part of that is incidents and accidents like this happen.
Yeah. If you just joined us, we're talking with Captain Will Smith here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, he's an author as well. Will, tell us about your books and what you're looking for as well.
Well, I've got two books out. One that's really getting a lot of variety right now is The Ditches to Riches. I'm helping people overcome adversity, people that have probably lost a lot in life or maybe gone through a divorce, overcoming addiction, maybe coming out of incarceration, on how to redefine oneself and move forward. And I use a lot of my practices and principles that I have today to help people, get out of a predicament there. And maybe if it's growing their business, maybe if it's helping their employees, reach their goals. I'm up in Georgia right now. I was doing some public speaking on that to a recovery house here in Georgia. So it's a women's recovery house and helping them move beyond their situation. And the other one is, of course, my story, Falling from the Sky. And I'm working with some producers out in California now with that, which is very exciting for me.
Very cool, man. Congratulations on all the success, and yeah, thanks for kind of giving us the insights on that helicopter crash with not only the Bryant family. I think there was another basketball coach and a total of, was it 9 or 11 people now that were
9.
on that?
Yeah,
it was 9, and hearts going out to them as well. I just didn't know them or their names, but yeah, it was very tragic, and I just I hate hearing about stories like this when ultimately it could have been prevented.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had some here in Tampa Bay last year as well. Someone that you knew as well. It was a gentleman that was a highly respected doctor in the area. And
Dr. Greenwald.
Something that was simple as the fuel, right? The person that was supposed to fuel it up put the wrong type of fuel.
Greenwald. Yeah, it was Dr. Greenwald was a good friend of mine. We flew together. We trained together. It was just it was unfortunate. I know he was in a hurry to get back, and unfortunately, the ramp, he put the wrong fuel in the aircraft. This is something it's hard to tell unless you smell or smell the fuel. But it's just taking a couple of seconds and slowing down. Could have prevented that as well. He would have noticed that the fuel, eventually the fuel got into the engine prior to takeoff. He would have noticed that, and that also could have been prevented. So it's one of those things. Sometimes in life we just need to slow down and think and give it a couple of seconds, because when you rush things in aviation and you're not sure, sometimes the outcome can be tragic.
Yeah.
Didn't Dr. Greenwald survive another crash as well?
He did. He was in a couple of other accidents that he survived, but nothing like this one.
Right.
But Dr. Greenwald flew a lot of different planes.
Wow.
A lot of different aircraft.
All right. Well, that's Captain Will Smith. Where can they find you? CaptainWillSmith.com, best website for you?
They can go to CaptainWillSmith.com, or they can go to Amazon.com. It depends on how fast you want to get the book. If they go to my website, they get a signed copy. If that's not interesting, if they don't want a signed copy, they go to Amazon, probably get a little bit quicker through the mailing process, or they can upload it. It's also on their tablet or their Kindle.
Very cool. You're going to do the audiobook follow-up too?
Yep, I'm actually working on that right now.
Nice.
So we'll have that out for the ones that like to listen.
Very cool. That's how I like to take in my books. A lot of audiobooks, constantly audio, podcast, those types of things. A lot of Gary Vee.
Hire Brandon Rhymes. He's got the radio voice.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll let you run, man. Thanks for calling in. Captain Will Smith. Check him out online, CaptainWillSmith.com, and author of 2 books, Ditches to Riches and Falling from the Sky, called in, weighing in on the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash that just recently happened over the weekend. So when we come back, more from our expert contributors right here in studio with us. We've got Djonlich. He's a legal ID Shield associate as well as a director, and also Jannete Sawdon here, Febre Frameworks, our real estate photographer expert in the studio here, and we're going to talk about that and a lot of cool things happening in Tampa Bay. We got an event coming up as well at Taps Restaurant on Wednesday, March 25th. Save the date for that, and we'll talk more about that in our expert contributors here in studio right after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome to 20.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because Weaving TV is working over in Tampa with Kansas Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore. Ask Anthony about Florida.
Yeah. To be
be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards from Naples.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife and I own a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay, top 1% realtor in the area, in the United States as well. And we have a great team. We'd love to help you buying, selling, or investing. Recently featured in Real Producers Magazine as well, Top Agent Magazine, the Tampa Bay Business Journal, as well as Florida Realtor Magazine. So we're your trusted source, your local economist of choice here in Tampa Bay, helping you understand more about your buying decisions, buying, selling, or investing. We'd love to talk to you. Check out PlatinumMVPteam.com. Our website is PlatinumMVPteam.com. And this segment is brought to you by Taps Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Taps Restaurant over at the International Plaza Mall on Bay Street. And they've got excellent food, very friendly staff, and a unique opportunity to go and hang out. And you can bring your furry friends as well. They've got a nice patio there as well up front. They've got a patio area, so dogs are welcome. And we have an event there Wednesday, March 25th. Save the date. Wednesday, March 25th. We're hosting Tampa Bay's best networking event, 6:30 to 8:30. It's going to be a great time. You're going to be able to meet a lot of people, a lot of business owners, a lot of sales professionals in the area. So if you are a networker and you're in the Tampa Bay area, you got to reach out and check out the Eventbrite page. Wednesday, March 25th, 6:30 to 8:30 over at Taps Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got a couple of hot listings here. This is a great opportunity at 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. This is a commercial office opportunity at 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. This is a freestanding building that is just on the north side of Hillsborough Avenue, and it's about 3,500 square feet. Lots of room for businesses, and it has plumbing as well in the wall, so it could be a doctor's office as well at 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. All right, we also have a residential condo here at 4304 Bayside, is 4304 Bayside Village Drive, Unit 204, and you have access to pools, clubhouses, and a great view overlooking the Courtney Campbell Causeway. So you got water views from this property at 4304 Bayside Village Drive in Tampa, priced at the $249 price point. And check them all out at platinummvpteam.com. All right, let's jump into it. We got John in the house, Djonlich, Legal Shield, ID theft prevention, and talk to us a little bit about what you're doing out there in the community.
Sure. Well, with Legal Shield, what you do is instead of paying, $300, $400, $500 an hour for attorneys, with our service, you pay a subscription fee per month of $24.95, and that gives you the ability now to talk to an attorney on any matter, from the traumatic to trivial, without having the clock run. You don't have to worry about how much is this call going to cost me. Now, with the ease of our mobile app, use your phone to call an attorney anytime you have any legal question and never get a bill. Talk as long as you like, as often as you like, and find out what your rights are. We always tell people, if you don't know what your rights are, it's like not having any.
Yeah, exactly. Now, can you give us a success story or some kind of example of how this has helped you or your clients, someone in your network?
Sure. I've used it personally for many different issues. One of the times we took our cat to the vet gave us the wrong amount of medication to take home, and our cat almost died as a result. We had to take him back and forth to the vet a couple times, and we spent almost $500 as a result of their negligence.
Wow.
Now, we're not looking to sue anybody, but we tried to call the vet owner ourselves. They wouldn't even return a phone call. But what we did now with Legal Shield, we had them write a letter, which did not cost us anything as a result of having our membership. And they wrote a letter to the vet, and a short time later, we got a refund, a check back in the mail for our expenses of just over $500, which on our own we couldn't have done at all. But when you have the power of an attorney writing all those letters for you, that usually gets great results for yourself.
Great example. Yeah, I've had that happen over the years. You have to lawyer up, as they say, right? And then with your program, it allows you to have that positioning where you're paying. It's kind of like a prepaid legal. I think HL had said you guys had bought that group as well some years ago. You merged, but yeah, it's another way of thinking of it. You're prepaying for legal at a low monthly expense cost. I was just watching American Greed last night too, and you just look at these types of scenarios. You talk about a veterinarian scenario. This was a compounding pharmacy that knowingly had different molds and things in their laboratory in their facility, just knowingly sending it out. Hundreds of people died from it, and so those are scenarios where definitely you'd have an attorney involved. Everything. Give us another example. Parking tickets we've talked about in the past too, or traffic tickets rather.
Sure. I mean, there's so many times where you're treated unfairly, you're ripped off. How many times are you on the phone yelling representative, trying to get results on your own?
Right.
And spending hours sometimes on phone calls, on hold, dealing with people, getting bounced around from department to department. We're now take all the stress out of that. Have your attorney handle all that, so the next time you feel like your rights aren't being enforced, you're treated unfairly, you're ripped off, you don't like the outcome that is received by you, call your attorney and have them look into it for you. And usually an attorney helping you out can usually get great results in any situation.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I've found over the years is just having an attorney. We bring great attorneys on the show as well and talking about different laws that have changed and scenarios there. And I know part of the package with signing up, if you were to sign up, and by the way, if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Djonlich here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's a representative with Legal Shield. So the idea is that when you sign up, you actually have some documents that every family should have. Shouldn't live or die without them, right?
Exactly.
Some of these documents.
Sure. One of the big things a lot of people like getting our services for is to get their will done. And with our services, you get your will, your living will, your healthcare power of attorney. Those are all included at no extra charge. So this way you just pay $24.95 a month, and now you can get all those services done and have the peace of mind knowing that you and your family are protected. I mean, unfortunately, look at Kobe Bryant. He thought he was going to be here today. He's not. We all think we got another 40, 50 more years to go, but nobody has tomorrow promised. And that's why I always encourage people, especially if you have kids, get your will done to make sure that they're protected in the event you do pass away sooner than you think.
Yeah, absolutely. You have the different, artists over the years that have passed away. Michael Jackson, I think, left a huge estate because he died intestate, meaning he died, without a will in place. You have Prince was another huge one. I mean, multi-million-dollar, family, heirloom that was just basically, when you pass away and you don't have that in place, the state writes one for you. It's called probate, and it costs a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In this way, you don't leave it up to the state who's going to get your stuff, who's going to watch your children, the things that you value and cherish the most. You want to make sure you make those decisions and not somebody else. And we have experts that can help walk you through those situations, to answer any of those questions, to make sure you make the best decision for you and your family.
That's right. Yeah. Tony Soprano, Galdolfini, it's another one from about 4 or 5 years ago, passed away without the estate plan in place. So we're talking with John here in studio, Legal Shield, and lots of ways that you can protect yourself, protect your identity. Talk about identity theft for a moment. I think that's one of the biggest areas that people really don't realize, the amount of hassle, the cost, the time associated once this happens and you do get your identity stolen.
Exactly. They say typically it takes anywhere to restore your identity from 200 to 600 hours on your own time. That's months and months of stress, anxiety, frustration. Who do I call? What do I got to say? What kind of letters do I write? How am I going to get this fixed? It's stress and anxiety that we relieve from you having to do all that on your own. And what sets us apart from over every other company is we have licensed private investigators that if you are a victim of identity theft, they're going to restore your identity back to its pre-theft status. And that's the biggest thing. Anybody can monitor, but if you're not going to restore, you're losing most of the battle. And with licensed private investigators restoring it, it takes all the stress out of what we have to do.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right, stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from our expert contributors here in studio. We're coming up. We're going to talk a little real estate photography with you. Also, we got a feel-good story of the day. Florida is purchasing 20,000 acres of Everglades wetlands to prevent oil drilling. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask it to me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as sisters connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We're actually hiring agents right now. We're looking for a few select agents. If you are looking for a team to join and you want to have support, education, training, technology, the radio and TV show opportunity to appear on our show, we'd love to talk to you. Check us out at platinummvpteam.com. platinummvpteam.com. Also, hit us up on the consumer hotline. It's an off-air number for all of our listeners out there, whether you want maybe some credit advice, you want to know the value of your properties, you want real estate photography, whatever you're looking for here, reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. We'd love to help you with your real estate buying decisions. Of course, over 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Over 50 categories, 50 expert contributors that come onto the show and help you understand more about your buying decisions, serving as a consumer advocate here in the community. You can find us right here at 4 o'clock drive time on AM 860 The Answer, which is also translated over to 93.7 FM. And then Sunday mornings on FM 102.5 The Bone, our show airs there, as well as Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and 85 other outlets. And all you have to do is search Binge Networks on your smart television, and you'll be able to find our TV show version as well on WeBeam TV as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. This segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot. Check them out at golfcartdepot.com. They've got new and used golf carts, huge inventory, and it's a great location. They got 2 locations. One's in Land O'Lakes right off of 41 North there, and also US 19 in Clearwater. And they have Easy Go, City Car, Star, and also many other styles of golf carts. And check out my golf cart there in the Keller Williams Red. We're working on getting a wrap for that. We got to get a wrap for that one. We're out there in the communities doing door knocking with it. So whether you're using it for personal use or commercial use, reach out to golfcartdepot.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you so you can take them up on the special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you heard about them right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Talk to Marty. He's the owner. Super nice guy. Let him know you want to go take a test drive. Come on in and take a test drive at golfcartdepot.com. And we're back here in studio. Our goal is to help you win as a consumer advocate, and we do that by bringing on awesome expert contributors every day here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Before we get to Jannete Sawdon here in studio, Febre Frameworks, we're going to talk about real estate photography and other types of real estate. I've got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about here. We've got a property at 2689 Sable Springs. It's number 105 in Clearwater. Now, this property, Sable Springs Circle in Clearwater, it's a ground floor unit, entry-level pricing at $148,000. Actually, we just reduced it down to $144 at 2689 Sable Springs. You've got windows on all 3 sides, water view as well. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. And also 4214 Peaceful Lane. So attention builders, developers, entrepreneurs, people in the business, check this out. You've got an opportunity to buy 8 waterfront lots, eight lots, 5 of which are actually waterfront on Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes, 4214. And we've got photography, drone photography coming in for that one very soon at 4214 Peaceful Lane. But you'll be able to see the layout of the land there, and 360 feet of frontage on Bell Lake, which is a 90-acre ski lake here in Tampa Bay. Great opportunity, and of course, only 30 to 40 minutes to Tampa International Airport. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com. All right, Jannete, let's talk real estate photography. You know, some of the realtors out there are still using the cell phone, and it's, you know, I got the newest version here, iPhone, whatever it is, the 11, 12, 13, yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's got the 3. But you can't do the same thing that you guys are going to do professionally.
No, not at all. I mean, it's all in the editing, as I've stated before. When you take a raw image, with a camera, we take different exposures. We take those exposures and compress them together to make that HDR quality look, and then go in and edit those photos to make them look nice and white and balanced and colorful and pretty.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the statistics show, we didn't bring any actual stats here, but they show that, you know, it's a staged home, for example. You know, a staged home is going to sell faster, you know, with the staging. A professionally shot real estate photographer that's going to be able to capture the best images. And Febre Frameworks, the best in the business, longtime friends of the program here, about 5 or 6 years now. We've been working together, and lots of compliments on the photography we
Good.
get.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, definitely the stats are there when it comes to the real estate professional photography. You can definitely Google search it, but your home is more than likely going to be seen more if you have the professional photography done. If you do cell phone photography and you got the little man in the window, the reflection of you taking the photo. I mean, it kind of just sets you apart from other real estate agents as well if you're hiring someone professionally to do the work.
Yeah, sets you apart in a bad way.
Well,
right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, when you're
definitely.
looking at that. So I pulled some stats yesterday too. I was looking at some real estate stats I was going to pull up while we're talking here, but tell us more about the coverage area and what who you're servicing and what you're doing.
Everything, everywhere. So we're all over Tampa Bay. We're as north as Spring Hill, Weeki Wachee area, south as Sarasota, Port Charlotte. We're in Orlando and as well as in Jacksonville. So we're pretty widespread within Central Florida, and we're looking to take over all of Florida eventually. So as of right now, we're moving into those areas and then just taking over. Yeah,
I like it. And the virtual staging now. Talk to us about that, because you have to disclose it online.
You do.
You disclose it, but you're able to help paint the picture for that customer that has a hard time understanding.
Right.
Where would the couch go? Where would the furniture go?
Right. I think it's pretty nice if you do the virtual staging. One, it doesn't cost as much as actually getting furnished, staged out there into a home. Also, it's a lot quicker turnaround time. We can virtually stage photos within 48 hours, whereas if you hire someone, it's going to take them all day. Then you have to wait for your professional photos. It's just a quicker turnaround time for that. Also, when you mentioned earlier that a staged home is going to sell faster than a vacant home, I mean, why not just get it virtually staged, save money there, and there you go.
I like it. So you do that. You also are you still doing headshots and other types of,
Definitely.
for all the professionals out there listening to the show?
Yeah.
If you're a professional, sales professional, it's 2020. It's time to update those headshots.
Update your LinkedIn, sometimes you have an Instagram page or business or a Facebook business page. Come on in. We'll do your headshot. We can do it in studio. We can do it on site at any location that you'd like, within the Tampa area. It's pretty affordable as well. It's $80. We'll give you 5 edited headshots. So
nice.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, like before, I used to go into the malls and go to one of the shops. Was it JCPenney?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember. But you go in, you had to pay. That was back in the day, man. That was the day. But we should do something for this, maybe potentially for this next event that we're doing. For Wednesday the 25th, we're hosting an event over at TAPS.
Yeah.
But what if we had a photographer on site, and it'd be a great time for people to update their headshots on site?
Yeah, before they start getting their drinks in.
Yeah. They come dressed up. They're going to come dressed up.
Makeup
dressed to
done,
impress.
hair done. Yeah, definitely. We can set up a backdrop somewhere in TAPS, or if they have like a really pretty wall we can use, whether it's brick or whatever.
Yep.
We can go in, get our lighting up, and start shooting.
That might be a good idea. We should talk about that and game plan that a little bit, because we're hoping to get over 100 people for the networking event, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of a speed networking style. So have you ever been to one of those?
Like no, speed networking.
So the way we do it is you come in, you have either a red or a green bracelet on, and then every 3 minutes, I think is what we're going to do. It's going to be the DJ is going to announce, hey, time to switch. That way you get to meet the most amount of people, and hopefully you walk away with something of value from that.
And what do the colors represent? Like, do you have to switch? Like, is he going to say switch to someone in red, and then you're going to...
Yeah, just green and red. Just kind of, you're always looking for the opposite color.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then you're going to be, hopefully networking with some people. And
nice.
One of the last events, we had 140 something people, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a good time.
That's crazy.
Catered food and so we've got it's on eventbrite.com, so save the date. It's Wednesday the 25th over at Taps Restaurant, one of the most awesome restaurants here in Tampa Bay, right at the International Plaza Mall. Taps Restaurant. So it's Tampa Bay's best speed networking event, hosted by the Consumer Quarterback Show, of course. So we're so excited. It's our 3rd edition of this speed networking event. We're going to have over 100 of Tampa Bay's best business professionals there. And we might have Febre Frameworks. We don't know. We're kind of tossing the idea around still.
Anytime. Just let me know. We'll be there.
Yeah, that could be cool. People can come and get their headshots updated.
Oh, yeah. So we just added a new package.
Okay, yeah, let's talk
to you
about that one. Yeah.
So we have the Mac Daddy package. Okay, it's the Matterport package, and that includes your photography, drone photography, and videography. Matterport, a single property website. You know that for some agents that just seems like a lot, and I get it. So we made a smaller package, which includes photos, drone photos, and a Matterport. So, and that's it's pretty much like $100 less than the Mac Daddy, like the big one. So yeah, so it starts at $250. It's a smaller package, but at least you get what you want, and you can use that Matterport to throw onto social media or as your second link on MLS.
Yeah.
And really showcase the home that way. So I'm not sure, are you aware, have you ever used Matterport? Are you aware of Matterport? Okay. So it's like you're virtually walking through a home.
I like that.
It's pretty awesome. And you can 360, look at the ceiling, look at the flooring, look at the walls, and zoom in to whatever you need. So it's pretty badass.
How does that work from the technician that's on site, the photographer? They're actually setting up in the middle of the room and just getting all the different angles, right?
Yeah, they gotta hide.
Right.
So they set the camera up. It's gonna go 360. So they either walk behind the camera or they stand behind a door until the machine says, "Okay, I'm done." So
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you got to do it every 5 steps.
Wow. Every 5 steps.
Yeah. So it takes, let's say 1,000 square feet takes about 30 minutes.
Okay. Interesting. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And it's worth it. The especially how much real estate is online now.
Right.
Overseas, from the Northeast, from the Northwest, people coming to Florida.
Yep.
They want to be able to
say that. So it's really Florida. I mean, because we have so many tourists and people moving into Florida.
Yeah.
The Matterport is really nice for those that live out of state because they can just it's like doing an open house, but you're not actually there.
Yeah.
So,
I've had people buy properties sight unseen. It's a little bit scary though, because when they actually get there, it's like, okay, well, we're under contract now. Your property's been off the market for a while.
Yeah.
And but normally, a lot of times, it's an investor that understands it's a rental market that we're looking for. In some cases, they're looking for that passive income from their person that's going to be renting.
Right.
The property. Yeah,
that's really scary. And even in the Matterport, you can do labels as well.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. So we can tag certain areas within the Matterport and write a description and even put a link in there.
Nice.
So, I mean, if you want to put a little bit more about, let's say, the AC unit, we can scan that AC unit, open the door, scan the AC unit, and then put a little tag on there that says brand new AC unit or, whatever the case is.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Good stuff. And you get a shot of the roof from the drone.
Yep.
You can see the whole layout.
Everything.
I love the layout too, where you can see, the neighborhood and then the water that's in the distance. That's the intercoastal waterway. That really helps add a lot of value.
Of course, especially in Florida. I mean, why are you moving here?
That's right.
For the water, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, it definitely helps. The drones are awesome. I won't touch them.
Yeah.
Because I'll lose it or crash it into a tree or something. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm too scared to touch those drones.
Yeah.
They're fidgety.
Well, they got to get a pilot license for some of them. Don't you? Yeah.
Did you know that if you're caught flying a drone and you're not licensed, you could be fined up to $250,000 and a maximum of 5 years in prison, or a minimum of 5 years in prison?
That's steep, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. And people wonder, why do you need your drone's pilot license? Yeah. Our pilots are not going to get, arrested. And
well, the FAA too, we had Captain Will on the first segment. I was getting pilot license, my pilot license with him. And, I've got 40 something hours, but yeah, you imagine flying a Cessna at, the minimum airspeed, I think it's 500 feet.
Okay.
Then the drone's in your way. It's like, whoa, that could cause a plane to go down. Big problems there.
Well, drone can go up 400 feet.
Yeah.
Now, if you're on top of a skyscraper, from there you can go another 400 feet. So I can see where I'd get into the pilot's vicinity. But yeah.
All right, good stuff.
Badass.
Jannete Sawdon, Febre Frameworks here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from our expert contributors in studio. We also have John with Legal Shield here as well. And our feel-good story of the day. This is an interesting one. Florida is purchasing 20,000 acres of Everglades wetlands to prevent oil drilling. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beckles.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it's Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're always powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings here that we've got here in Tampa Bay. 4348 Harbor Point Drive. This one's in Port Richey. $2 million property listing of mine, and it's a gorgeous home. 6,700 square feet directly on the waterways of Tampa Bay. So you got bay access right there. Bring your boat. Huge property. And you also have ultra high security, 2 guard gates before you even get onto the property. And you can check out the photography compliments of Febre Frameworks, of course. 4348 Harbor Point Drive, Port Richey, Florida. A beautiful property. It's a modern day looking palace here in Tampa Bay. Check it out online at platinummvpteam.com. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.com. 4207 Southdale Mabry also. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, unit number 1203 in the South Tampa area, 4207 Southdale Mabry, unit 1203. Grand Key Condominium Association. Great opportunity. Pool, clubhouse, all the amenities that you want of beautiful South Tampa as well. Hot real estate properties at platinummvpteam.com. Every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so you got the Florida Department of Environmental Protection purchasing 20,000 acres of wetlands in the Everglades as an effort to save the area from drilling. And it's the largest wetland acquisition in over a decade, according to a press release from Governor Ron DeSantis, quote, "This significant purchase will permanently save these lands from oil drilling. I'm proud of our progress, but also recognize this is just the beginning," DeSantis said in a statement. Quote, "I will continue to fight every day for the Everglades and Florida's environment. The wetlands acquisition will protect wildlife habitat of more than 60 endangered and threatened species and support expedited restoration work on the Everglades agricultural area reservoir." And in February 2019, Florida Appeals Court ruled that the Cantor Real Estate would be able to drill an exploratory well in the Everglades, according to court documents. The company's president, John Cantor, wanted to drill a 20-mile wide, 150-mile long stretch of shale between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, dubbed the Sunnyland Trend, according to the Miami Herald. With the new acquisition by the state, about 600,000 acres of wetlands are now protected in Water Conservation Area 3, which will be restored, the governor said. So interesting. Wow. So it saved a lot of, oil drilling. I hate that idea of having, oil being drilled so close to, the environment that we have. It's so, one catastrophe could really cause a big, huge problem, just like we saw with the BP oil spill. That wreaked havoc for a lot of people. A lot of businesses suffered, especially with tourism. And, I grew up hunting and fishing in the Everglades. So,
right.
I'm so glad.
Everglades, we have, it sustains Florida, like anything happens to the Everglades there. I mean, Florida is just going to, go downhill, when it comes to the environment.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. Panthers and all kinds of wildlife down there as well. All right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
Lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. We got top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. John, Legal Shield.
Sure. I ask people this all the time. If you can call an attorney and ask them any question you like and never get a bill, would you?
Nice.
If the answer is yes, go to my website, sign up. Feel free to give me a call if you have any questions. And as far as identity theft, I also tell people right now, somebody has your information on their computer. And it's really a matter of time until it's used against you, and that could wreak havoc on your life. So have our licensed professional investigators restore your identity, as well as looking for it before it becomes that problem.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's a big area. The cyber crime. A lot of people say that's where the next, and it's happening every day. The world war. What's going to be the war? It's going to be a lot of the cyber crime, trying to shut down banks, trying to shut down currency exchanges, travel, those types of things, trade, big issues happening online. All right, Jannete, Sawdon, Febre Frameworks.
Yeah, whether you're in the Tampa Bay area, Orlando, Jacksonville, give us a call. We'll come out to your listing, do a wonderful job on photography, and we're home of the free aerial drone, so drones are always included within your packages. If you need Matterport, headshots, weddings, food, whatever, you name it, we do it.
Yes, and I can tell you, from firsthand experience, they do a great job. You get the photography done quickly, timely. It's back, it's professional, it looks great, and your sellers are going to be real happy with that as well. You're presenting the best opportunity to see that first impression of the real estate property that you're selling. Vacant land, commercial, residential, they all need professional photography. And now that you can put 50 pictures, I think it's just awesome. You can put 50 different pictures up, gives you more angles, more opportunity as well.
50 virtual stage photos are now allowed on MLS. I mean, and you have two link opportunities to put on MLS as well. So why not use full advantage of everything?
That's right. I like it. All right, so for my tip, I talk about an Italian economist named Wilfredo Pareto back in 1895. He started and basically invented the 80-20 rule, aka Pareto's principle, and it's the least amount of effort. If you can look for where's the least amount of effort, where are my key, 80%, where's my 20% of my key actions that's going to contribute to 80% of my success, and that comes from 20% of your actions. So you got to identify what are those key 20% of those activities every day that you're going to do. Gary Keller wrote the book called The One Thing. What is your one thing that you're going to focus on? For me, for example, for the real estate business, it's getting listings. Listings drive other listings. Listings drive buyer sales and investor calls. So you're got to get listings if you're in the real estate game. Otherwise, you focus on being a buyer specialist or an investor and rehabber, flipper. There's lots of niches in real estate, but as far as the traditional model, retail model, you want to get listings. So success is the progressive realization of a worthy cause, right? So if you can equal success, think about Wilfredo Pareto, 1895 economist. He discovered that 80% of the land was owned by 20% of the wealthy, what he called the vital few, the wealthy and the rich. And, it's interesting. This comes around in a lot of different areas, that 80-20 rule. If you think about it, 20% of the clothes in your closet are worn 80% of the time, right? There's a lot of clothes that we don't wear at some point. 20% of the beer drinkers drink 80% of the beer, right? you know who they are. You see them at the party. There's one in every crowd, as they say. And, so there's a lot, you can see that Pareto principle broken down across society in lots of different ways. And I would urge you, staying on point with your 2020 goals, find out what those are for you, focus on it, schedule that time, and make it a must. It's one of those things where you can't overlook the importance of focusing on those 20%, those key 20% tasks. That's going to contribute to 80% of your success in your business. So, hey, another great show. I want to thank John with Legal Shield for coming in, educating us on that product that you guys offer. Awesome opportunity. You get your estate plans as well, $24.95 a month. Great opportunity. Jannete Sawdon as well. Always a pleasure. Febre Frameworks, say hello to Sean, Manny, Gary, the whole team over there. And we appreciate you coming in and talking about our real estate photography opportunities here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, pack up some food or clothing, volunteer some time, donate some blood, swing a hammer maybe for Habitat for Humanity. Lots of ways you can be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.